The Panel Pals haven't done a cartoon episode review in over a month.
That's not the last one. That can't be the last one.
I'm sure he probably. Look.
Hello. Welcome back to the Panel Pal podcast. I am skullryan.
And I am MNStash. Hello, everyone.
Nice dude. So, we've absolutely smashed through a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man recently. And we're doing a quick break to continue with the new animated series, mate.
Well, I mean, it's probably one of the most underrated cartoons, and each episode just proves it more and more.
And we're kind of still on topic because it's very Ultimate inspired, the cartoon. As we've said, Bendis is literally on the writing staff.
Well, I was gonna say, did you notice that some of the music in this episode sounded like it could fit the game?
Yeah. There's
There
very,
was
like,
one
the bit
in particular?
where they barge in. It sounded like Rhino Rampage or whatever, you know, I think it's when they break into the safe at the beginning. The music sounds like before you fight the Rhino in the game, but where you're like going through the destroyed bit of the city that he's been tearing up, and it's like building up.
It was one of the pterodax scenes where it sounds just like a fight theme for the game.
That game had boss music
looks
as well, dude.
like during the intro when they show the city all the time.
Yeah,
it always looks like the video game.
Yeah,
especially at night.
Oh, the night scenes are beautiful. The villains for this week, mate.
It was like just a show for the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, because the actual Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, we got nothing on this. The villains this week are yet again copycats of actual supervillains with the numbers filed off. So, adding to the list of not Black Cat, not Rocket Racer. Who else have we seen?
Not Craven, technically.
Not Craven, even though Craven comes in later anyway. We've now got not the Vulture. No, he's too well known. We've got copycat Vulturians. Have you ever read Web of Spider-Man issue 1?
They even said like our old and green.
They literally no one asks why they're called pterodax. It's just their terrorist name. But he literally goes, "We're pterodax. We've got wings. We've got thick hides, and we'll bite off your heads." And it's like, dude, we didn't ask. It's like, why do they call him Sandman? What blows my mind?
It was so random.
I know. It's no one asked why you called. Like, what if real life they're like, we are the Taliban. We're named the Taliban because no one asked. Just do your crime, dude. No one wondered why Shikata was called Shikata. It was just the name. It's fine.
And
what blows my mind is
the convenient Sorry.
Oh, go on. I was just going to say about how they keep doing these villains that aren't quite comic villains because they wanted to keep continuity with the movies. So if he fought the Vulture here and then fought the Vulture in Spider-Man 2, it wouldn't carry on. But they thought Lizard, Electro, and Craven and Silver Sable, they thought, no, they're losers. They'll never be in a movie. Because they use them happily. But Black Cat, the Vulturians, and Rocket Racer, oh, careful. Sam Raimi might just use Rocket Racer for Spider-Man 2.
Well, I just think it got annoying in this episode how, it had that trope where Spidey's conveniently involved into the plot.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
But this episode, I think, was the worst. Be
at the bank when I remember a really bad example of this being in the animated series from the 90s. Him and Aunt May go to get the wedding ring out of the lockbox for when he's going to propose to Mary Jane, and the Scorpion just happens to attack right when Spider-Man's in the bank.
But that's like my one negative of this episode was definitely just how forced a lot of the conflict was. I hated the fact that, like, Harry's like, go get him, MJ. And, that woman just happened to go and kiss him for no. Oh, and she's standing right there. Oh, the drama. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, she's just there. And
whenever they, like, keep Peter and MJ apart, I'm always a bit more like,
Yeah, it's one thing if he can't make a date because he's out Spider-Maning. But, like, this could have been avoided. Why has he not just got... She's telegraphed. Like, as we said, it carries on from the movie, doesn't it? And she's openly... She says in this episode, she has openly said that she wants to be with him. And it's him who keeps saying no because he's got to go be Spider-Man. But then he's also... It's like he's playing games with her. He knows that she fancies him. So he will kiss her as Spider-Man, and he will snuggle up to her. That bit with the binoculars at the start where, like, she's literally grinding on him when they're watching them other two necking. And he's like, yeah, I'll let her do this, but I'll never actually go out with her. Yeah, I'll kiss her as Spider-Man after saving her life, but I'll never actually... Yeah. He's just not getting it, dude.
Like, it's the biggest fault of this show was just the way they handled their relationship, because I have moments that really stand out and then others that just completely fall flat.
He doesn't want to get with Mary Jane because the danger being Spider-Man puts her in. But he'll happily get with this indie woman. Even though she's literally just been in trouble because of Spider-Man. He's got no leg to stand on.
Didn't MJ even say to him that she wants Peter? Like, she said that to him as Spidey?
Yeah. Yeah, because, like...
Didn't he try to kiss her or something? Or, like, they kissed, or... And then she told him how, like, there's another guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and he goes, like, he sounds like a great guy.
This moron's like, huh?
Has that happened yet in our watch through, or is that in the next episode? What the fuck's it called? The next episode's got Tara Strong, and it's about this psycho who fancies Spider-Man. Is that at the end of that episode, or as she said to him already in our continuity? It must have been in Shikata then, wasn't it?
I think so, because it was in the streets.
Yeah, and he's like got his hands all cut up because of the sword. Sick episode, dude.
It's just like the way they made him so unbelievably dense with the whole relationship with MJ is so annoying.
He is oblivious, and Mary Jane even says this. She's like, "Oh, now I get it. He just hasn't been listening. He's not heard a word."
She like says she'll talk real slow for him as well.
Yeah. But, like, even before where she's walking, what did you reckon of the scene where she's, like, practicing what she's going to say to him? Because I think it was quite the twist. Because I don't remember the last time I've seen something where the woman in the relationship is, like, planning out what she's going to say and do. It's normally the bloke, innit?
I like how when it's someone like MJ doing it, you know that she's, like, proper serious about it, because she usually has, like, that party girl. Mate? Yeah, like that party girl persona. So the fact that she's full on, like, stressing over this situation just sort of adds a bit more depth to it.
Do you remember in the Kingpin episode? In the Kingpin episode where she asked Peter to share a secret with her, and he was like, he's walking on the wall. He's like, oh no, that wasn't the King. I think that's not happened yet. Sorry. In a different episode, she asked Peter to share a secret with her. Any secret, just so he can get closer. And he's like, as he's fighting crime, he's like trying to think what he can tell her. And he's stressing out over it a bit. Has that happened yet? Sorry, it's been like a month since we last watched one of these.
Remember.
We did 3 comic clubs on the go. It might be in a coming up episode then, because she wants to get to know him better. And he's like, we've been best friends for years. And she goes, no, but I need to know, like, a deep, dark secret. And he's like, well, I can't tell her I'm Spider-Man. So he ends up telling her he's allergic to a certain type of fish, and she's livid. That might be next episode, actually.
I don't think we've seen it yet, no.
That'll be next episode then. As I said, we've just done 4 comic clubs on the bounce, so I'm forgetting what we've done already. We've seen the Lizard. We haven't seen Electro.
We've seen Shikado have seen
Black Cat.
Rocket Racer.
The Talon. Rocket Racer. Who was episode
Also-
2's for Kingpin? Bam, 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 bam.
What a room.
What a
Also,
room.
the like it's another Spidey that manages to save a woman from falling off a high place. That isn't the
Piece of
616.
piss.
I love how like every Spider-Man but 616 Spidey could just doesn't fail at that.
Ultimate literally does it the exact same way 616 done it as well, by
Yeah.
webbing a foot and like not giving a whiplash.
It was meant to be that she like just for Gwen dying. It was just she had to go.
Yeah. Mate, she's with George now, it's fine.
I don't think George wants anything to do with that.
Poor George, mate. He was
I
the
think he has like
only
a grudge
reason
now against Peter because he's like, oh no, Gwen's here.
send back to me. It's like, I was done with it. You promised me you would look after it. That's why he's like, listen, do me a favour, Pete. Can you have her for a bit?
She died like 30 issues later, and he's just like, for fuck's sake, Peter.
Yeah, it wasn't long, was it? It wasn't much of a break.
Wasn't Stanley worried about that? Like the fact it looked like they hated the Stacys because they killed them off so quickly.
No one ever gives Doc Ock shit for that, does it? Every time the Goblin reappears, they're like, that's the guy who killed the love of Spider-Man's life. But no one's like, oh shit, it's Doc Ock. He fucking murdered the only cool adult Spider-Man knew.
I mean, like, because he whack the building?
Yeah, he crumbled
The
a chimney onto him.
thing?
Which
Also,
is a
like,
well
what was that
cooler
doing?
death. It's well better than what happens in Ultimate. Spoilers for next comic club. For a 30-year-old comic.
A bit off topic for like the new animated series, but when it comes to comic book deaths, what do you think of Gwen's death? Like just the way it unfolded? Because I honestly love the way she falls off the bridge, shoots a web line, tiny little snap. Was it like
Yeah, you
just
can
next to her
barely
neck?
notice the snap.
And then just the way it ends with him holding Gwen. I think it was handled like amazingly.
Yeah, I think the best bit for me is how he thinks he's done it, and he's like, "Oh, Spidey, you legend! You've only gone and done it again, hero, top Avenger." And then he notices she's actually
Big
dead.
time
He's like, "Oh, it's
superhero coming through."
like it gives us whiplash, not as much as Gwen, but the sheer like, oh, he's done it, he's saved it, and he's like, webs, spider powers, I could kiss you, I'm so cool. And then as he lands and he realizes her neck's broken, she's dead. He's like, oh, and then he doesn't even believe it himself when he's like, no, I saved you. I saved you.
It was such a good part. But then he fucking ruins it when he's
mate.
like, no, officer, Spider-Man killed her.
Oh,
like,
what
why
a
would you say
moron!
that? Why would you
Why?
say
And
that?
then he complains that he's public enemy number. He complains when the Punisher comes for him after he's publicly told the police that he's responsible for this death. Oh my god, dude!
But then conveniently, this was the one time the civilians of the Marvel world weren't stupid, because didn't the officer go like, "He's just grieving, man. Leave him alone."
Yeah, you
And it's
better
like,
get
oh,
out
so
of here, Spidey.
Now it's like now you're like giving him the benefit of the doubt, but before it's like,
Shoot him, man! Shoot it! There he is, guy.
it's fucking baffling.
Mate, literally, issue 70, yeah. The goddamn tablet of whatever. The police, the Kingpin's like, my webbed ally shall free me. And like, oh shit, Spidey's working with the Kingpin.
I remember in your video, you're like this
Yeah.
publicly known, criminal mastermind.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we gotta believe him. The Kingpin said it was true. And then
It happens in this
70
episode
issues
too.
later. Yeah. 70 issues later, Spider-Man's like, she's dead because of me, Spider-Man. Like, it's okay, son. Get out of here.
In this episode, Peter hands Jonah the photos, and he's like, "Oh, so he and he's like, he tried to rob the thing." He's like, "No, he's trying to stop them." Oh, so we hired them to rob it, but then
Yeah. Jonah's saying it as if it's like a boss headline. He's like, Spider-Man hires thieves, then chases them away. It's like, that won't fit on the newspaper, Jonah.
Like, there's got to be a point where even Jonah himself is like, maybe I'm just shit.
Yeah, he must understand it just sells.
He's a grifter.
We're seeing
Jonah
well
would be-
more of Jonah than I remember. I remember him only being in like 1 or 2 episodes, but he's been in about 4 already.
I had a thought. What if Jonah sounds like worse because they thought he sounded too old in like the '90s show, and the kids wouldn't like it, so like let's de-age
The
Jonah.
kid. Gotta be, dude, because they hate old people, don't they? Have you seen a single old person in this game?
Besides
in
that
the show.
one frame of Aunt May in the photo.
And like in like the second to last episode, Stan Lee's in it for like a second. He's probably the oldest.
I mean, it is a positive in a way, the fact that Aunt May's just not involved.
Yeah, she's not here to pretend to have a heart attack. Pterodax then, yeah, dude. The
I had
main
that
one.
one image where Peter and MJ are gonna get frisky and they're living at Aunt May's, and then she opens the door without knocking.
Oh. While they're
Surprised she
making the
didn't have a
wheat
heart
cake.
attack. What did you think of the villains?
I was going to say the villains. As I said, the Vulturians are not top level Spidey baddies. The Vulture himself is, and the leader of this pack, I don't remember his name, just the main one, he was kind of
Russian.
threatening. He was very die hard to me with a jetpack. Like his whole plot was like calculated. He was voiced by, is it James Marsden or Marsders? There's 2 different voice actors.
One was Cyclops, wasn't it? One of the James Martin was like Cyclops.
There's 3 then, because there's James Marsden, or one of them was Cyclops in the movies. One of them was the boy Lion in Lion King 2. And I think he was in Justice League as Snapper Carr. And then there's this guy who was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in Dragon Ball Evolution, which was like the live action one where he was the bad guy. Let me Google him real quick, because I swear to God, there's like 3 different actors all with the same name. James Marsden.
How did no one get hit by the table?
Cyclops. Oh yeah, I like how they drew attention to it as well. In the recent Ultimate Spider-Man we read, a table also went out the window, but Spidey went out of his way to stop it.
I was like, is he going to try to stop it or just let it fall?
Right, dude. James Marsden is Cyclops. James Marsters is this guy.
He's like Doodle Bob.
Very, very distinct voice on him. He's cropped up in a few things. Let me have a look. He was Lex Luthor in Superman Doomsday.
No way.
Sergey was. Oh, that's funny. So these flying Russians. The main one was called Sergey, even though Spider-Man's also got a Sergey Russian villain, who we'll see later. And one of them was called Alexei, even though Spider-Man's already got a Russian villain called Alexei.
I noticed that. I was like pointing at the TV like Leo DiCaprio.
That's the rhino. And then like was one of them called Dimitri or something to finish the Trinity?
Probably. What about Mr. Dickovich?
Yeah, if this is set in the Raimi-verse, what have we got? We've now got 3 different Kraven the Hunters.
I thought the like overall thing was a bit weak when they just wanted the diamonds. Like it was pretty basic.
Just wanted diamonds. I do think it was super villain basic, but it was a nice change of pace, really. Like from what we normally see, where they're like, they mention
lizard one was
a government
hardcore.
laser. They mention a government laser, but then it's not that they want the laser to be a terrorist group or something. They just want the diamonds because they'll sell them on for money.
It was like, I guess to me, it sort of just felt like the whole point was for them to create drama. Like, they weren't really a main part of it. Even though
Yeah,
they're
there
the main
wasn't a true
antagonists, but they weren't, like, that important.
But funnily enough, these do return in a way later. Like this isn't the last we see of them. So for this iteration of Spider-Man, these are like Sinister Six level. But that's only because he kills all the other villains he comes up against.
You'd be
So,
fucking terrified if you're like a Spidey villain and you see this one.
mate, and like this one's also because this is meant to be a follow-on from Spidey 1. This Spider-Man's also suspected in the murder of Norman Osborn. So this dude's got some blood on his hands.
I wish they had like the dialogue in the Arkham games where they just better if they killed the Joker.
Just arguing over it.
Yeah, I think he killed him.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't do that.
Why would he kill Norman Osborn? He's just a philanthropist. Money.
Did you like the dynamic between Harry and Peter in this one? Because that's always usually like one of the parts of the episode.
It's nice to see that they're not arguing or fighting over who gets MJ like usual. Like this, Harry's stepped aside at this point, mate. He knows that they're the end game.
I would have loved to have seen a continuation through a comic.
Oh yeah, if only.
But then again,
but they redesigned Peter and yeah, they redesigned Peter and he looks nothing like what they just draw Tom Holland. Imagine if this was Tom Holland. This put the Tom Holland Spider-Man through half the shit that this one's been through already, mate, and we're not even halfway through the season.
It's weird to think about how in the older sort of things, like Spidey would go through so much in such little time, whereas now it takes forever for him to like properly get going. Like,
yeah,
he had a trilogy that was one massive origin story.
He's been in the MCU 10 years and he's got, like, from his universe, his villains are Vulture, Shocker, and Mysterio. That's 10 years of Spider-Man for you there, mate.
Or like,
what is that?
In the new Ultimate Spider-Man, he's barely fought anyone. Yeah.
He's like, has he even... Did he fought Mr. Negative once? Why Mr. Negative's even in the Sinister Six? That was a shit choice. We want cool villains in the Six, please. Why's Mole Man there? Like, surely he's got better shit to do than fight Spider-Man.
With like Mr. Negative, I feel like in a way he was the best Dan Slott creation. So they've sort of just like, because he was the best modern creation, they just run with him all the time.
I would have rather had Overdrive.
Fuck, I forgot about Overdrive. Didn't he quit?
Last I saw, he was shagging female Beetle. But that was before she got with Robbie's son.
Randy.
Yeah, he was very Randy, yeah. That's why he...
Do you like Randy as like Peter's friend?
He's the only one who's got left now, isn't he? Like, Harry's dead. I think Flash is dead. Mary Jane doesn't want to talk to him. It's slim pickings.
It's weird the way that they've sort of abandoned a lot of the side characters now. Like, they just don't want them anymore.
As I've said to you a few times, I don't read, like, new Spidey as it comes out anymore. I've gave up on him. But last I saw, he's got Randy, Aunt May, and this Shay woman. And I think they've recently introduced...
The fact that Aunt May's, like, a prominent one is just so...
Oh, why is she still... We've been rid of her, like, 4 times. It's just not sticking. Which is ironic.
You know...
It's the stuff.
But it's like the way that he gave up the marriage, and then the next page is like him. The next page is Aunt May saying like "Morning Tiger" or some shit. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. And like I remember, like the very first page of the very first story after the marriage is in a nightclub, like kissing some random stranger just to rub in your face, like, forget about Mary Jane, she's gone.
Was it New Year's?
Kidding me, dude. Oh, I don't
That
even remember. It
scene?
was a very fucking. Ugh. I'm gonna have to. I was planning actually a video last year to do like. I was gonna subject myself to all the post Brand New Day stuff just to like see if I can kind of separate what was, if I can look at it on its own merits rather than as a continuation. And I just never got around to doing it because I couldn't find the drive to
as a
sit
reason
through
not
it.
to just jump off a building.
Doing when I did that Valentine's one with like the Forgotten Loves of Spider-Man, even just reading the brief bits of that, what the hell was her name? Michelle.
Yeah.
Even just the brief bits that I read of Brand New Day just for her, I was like, this is just shit. When I did the Matt Gargan video, I was actually having a bit of fun until it got to the friggin' New Ways to Die. And New Ways to Die is one of the better stories from that saga. But
also, I think that Ramita's art looked pretty good in that story too.
it was pretty nice in that one. Don't know
I
what's
think-
happened nowadays.
I think also it's like an inker thing. Like the inker did a better job because he did more of a paintbrush sort of style, I thought.
Yeah. Like the symbiotes actually look wet.
Even just like the way MJ's hair looked was nice. And the way that the suit would almost be like a rose sort of color.
I still think, speaking of MJ looking nice, mate, this is spot on the best MJ. She's got character. She's actually
Definitely, yeah.
like, obviously she's goth, which is always a plus. But she's got character. She's got like her own motivation. She doesn't just take shit. She's not just there to like pat Peter on the back at the end of the fight. She's actually got her own shit going on. Like, she took charge in this. She wanted to know why Peter wasn't sending back the signals, so she went in search of truth. And now this indie bitch is getting in the way.
I love the way she's like a perfect combination of the movie and the comic books. Just because the fact that MJ right now, to me, like they've fully tried to ruin her. And you got modern fans who don't read comics thinking that MJ's better as a reporter, which just irks me.
Oh, that, mate. The whole love interest being a reporter thing is so played out. Like,
also,
obviously
like,
Lois Lane, but Iris West as well. Spidey does not need it.
Vicky Vale technically like
Vicky
is
Vale,
very
yeah.
similar. But even just like I understand Ultimate Spider-Man did it first, but I'll never really blame that because like if you don't read the comics, you're not going to know about it. It's more or less the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, but it's definitely just the Insomniac Games' fault. The way that they like wrote the worst MJ and then doubled down on it just for the second game, it baffles me.
Oh, mate. Like, they had already shit as a character, and then they ruined the face as well.
Sorry, it didn't come through in Discord.
Oh, Discord! Craig, do your job, man.
It's I miss
Craig,
Skype.
Playing it. That's me too, dude. But I said, what the hell did I say? I said they had as a shit character in the first one, but at least she was kind of cute. And then in the second one, they took the only thing she had going for her, a face.
You're saying you don't like
just fucked it, dude.
The square face?
No. I think her face is almost as square as the fridge that Venom throws at Spider-Man. that she
I understand,
in the way
like,
of.
Caring for your lover, like I get that part, but I don't understand beyond that is the fact that he's fucking Spider-Man and you're jumping in front of Venom.
It's like Lois Lane taking a bullet for Superman. This just didn't have to. You just didn't need to do it. If you think for a second, you'd realize you didn't need to do that.
It's so baffling. Even just the way that Peter couldn't lift the fridge off.
I know, yeah. But like in side missions, not even side missions, in random crime events, he's picking up trucks gently placing down cars, and he can't
I
lift
don't want
this
to be
bridge.
that guy, but just the fact that Peter couldn't lift up a train. I understand that he had, yeah, it was pretty dire circumstances. He should be able to lift up a train.
Is this when Carnage or like Cletus has
Yeah,
got him?
yeah.
Because there was a similar fair play with like the Ferris wheel or something that he nearly drops during the Hunters' attack on Coney Island. Because that does look pretty heavy. But there is certain things he should be able to lift no problem. And a fridge is one of them, dude.
Like the train one was like a bit rough because he was like on fucking fire. Um, but it's still just a bit like when you read the comics, you see him perform so many incredible feats with strength, and the way they've just weakened him so much in the games is pretty just sad. Like, remember in the Miles game, like the fucking Rhino almost kills him.
Yeah, he shouldn't be having trouble with anyone if he can, like, some of the
It's
shit we've seen him do, mate.
it's like,
But
did you think he was gonna die in that in that moment?
I think it might have been seeing what they've done with him since. It might have been better for us all if he had. At least then, like, we don't have to worry about them making him such a loser anymore.
I'm sick of him being like weak, annoying, just all round useless.
He's no longer the cool as hell hero, like what we're seeing in the new animated series. He's confident, he's cracking funny jokes as he's kicking ass. Villains are kind of like in this very episode, the villains aren't like, oh, it's Spider-Man, he's here to ruin the plan. They come up with a specific plan to kill him because they know he's going to be a problem. So they come up with that bomb Empire 1 plot in order to dispose of him.
Like, even just, he's not even funny anymore. Like, in Spectacular, he didn't even have to say a joke to be funny. One of my favorite moments is literally when Sandman's like, "You got some sort of spider sense?" Oh, it's funny you should say that, and just gets fucking slammed against the wall.
Yeah, mate.
Or in the one of Josh Keaton's favorite moments is when he throws the cone on Rhino. He's like, "I got the thing on the thing. What do I win?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You, I win me." That makes no sense.
Even in this, he's more like cheeky. Like when Sergey, apparently was his name, misses his blast and Spider's like, oh, 5 seconds to recharge. Better make the next one count.
Mate, he's a menace in this
Ripping
show.
into him. Yeah, he's boss. He's like ready to go. He can back up his shit. Like Spidey nowadays feels like he'll say a joke, everyone will roll their eyes, and then 2 minutes later, Spidey's like getting crushed by something. When in this, he'll swoop in, he'll take the piss out of you, and he'll kick your ass.
Also, like in the start of the episode, he knocked that one pterodactyl down, and then I think he flipped and then just right hooked him.
Yeah.
Even his head would be gone. That's not. You couldn't
When
tank that.
When they get the diamonds and he radios Alexi, and Spidey's like, "Oh, Alexi can't come to the phone at the moment." You're like, "Oh, mate, he's shit. He's here." Did you see the Arkham takedown as well, dude? That was boss. It's like got the hole in the wall, and then Spidey just swoops in, snatches him. You're like, "Oh shit!"
I also thought
The
it was like a
music
bit
as
of a
well.
harkening back to the first movie with the way he went behind the leader and just hung there.
Yeah,
It felt
That
like
was-
when he
yeah,
went to
where's-
see
in the
Carradine.
warehouse. Yeah, with Uncle
Yeah.
Ben's killer. Ah, mate, sick dude. Or like the very end of this episode, thought it was funny how we took him down, where he just like busts his jetpack and the dude cracks his head on the wall.
I like just his entire personality. I think also Neil Patrick Harrison, like with each episode I watch, because the game he was in, I didn't really like him, but in this one,
He's,
I'm like,
as
he's
we
probably
discussed,
one of
dude,
the most like underrated voice actors for him.
he's very good, dude. Like we said, in the game, he's unstoppable. He's never lost a fight. Like, if this is Amazing Spider-Man and Craven, if this is set in the 616 universe, 2 months ago, Craven had him, like, dead to rights, friggin' killed all his friends, and now he's like, hey, it's silly Craven the Hunter. You're like, oh shit. But in this, he's more human, and he is doing a boss
Mate,
job
but
at it.
also because I think it's in the game they just had so many lines they kept repeating, like ashes to ashes,
Yeah.
dust to dust. Like fuck off, sad to sad.
Sad to sad.
He said it every 2 seconds.
He was more, I think, child friendly in Shattered Dimensions. Like his jokes were more silly, like when he's like, "Ooh, we're going into the haunted mine. We're going to unmask a ghost." Well, in this, he's more like when he says to Shikata, he's like, "Time to get you off the streets." He's more hard edge in this.
That's the like. Yeah, feels he feels like what the modern adaptations have been missing.
Yeah, like I said, he can back up his shit talk in this. He will call you a name and he will beat the shit out of you. While modern now, Spidey is like, he'll say something fucking stupid to Tombstone and then he'll be begging him saying he learned his lesson chained up underground, even though we've seen Spidey bust out of like coffins and shit.
He can crawl his way out of the fucking. Oh, but then again, he had MJ back then. Now he doesn't.
True, he's lost his drive, mate.
Yeah, there's no motivation to do that shit.
He's like, Tombstone, just kill me. But Tombstone, being the villain, is like, no, he needs to live to suffer.
Like,
You
he goes to
bastard,
Craven's son or clone or whatever the fuck they've done to him.
Whatever it
and
is.
then he, like, if it is a clone, he just explains in vivid detail the way Craven's last hunt went. He's like, so I need you to redo this, but this time I'll stay dead. just please.
Craven's clone's like, I don't want to be an Amazing Spider-Man. I think I'm going to leave.
He fucking breaks the fourth wall just to walk out of the book. Do you reckon, like, honestly, if 616 Spidey died and had a funeral today, do you think, like, all of them would just talk shit?
Would anyone go?
I feel like they'd go, but then they'd be like, oh, he's just... No, they'd go,
yeah.
But they'd think it was Miles' funeral. When they realize it's Peter, then they'll all leave.
It'd be like that fucking in Homer's Enemy, where like they're putting Peter to rest. You just have like Paul snoring. Change the channel, Mary Jane, and everyone laughs like that's our Paul. It's just too far gone. You'd have probably Johnny Storm, who's like still got his weird mustache, so everyone's talking about his mustache instead of the dead Peter in front of them.
And the fact that he's like actively sleeping with an alien that doesn't resemble any sort of like human at all.
Yeah. Remember when Spidey gave Scarlet Witch shit for fucking Vision? Does he know about this thing that Johnny's getting into?
Also, like, I don't think Spidey can judge anyone anymore, considering he gave his fucking marriage away.
Exactly.
Like, anyone can just say that now to him. Anytime he tries to talk shit, they go, yeah, but Mephisto.
Just go, yeah, but mate, your soul is literally condemned. Like, I'm a criminal who's like, I'm a criminal with a hammer for a head, but your soul is condemned. Like, I've killed people, but you're gonna bear. I can always repent. You're gonna bear.
It's fucking so sad to think that our favorite hero will literally burn in hell.
Yeah. No matter what, the second he gets to the pearly gates,
you imagine?
the judge or whatever's gonna go, listen, you did make that deal with literal Satan. off you go.
Could you imagine, like, the prelude to Undoing One More Day is, like, he stops Shocker, and Shocker just, like, for some reason, Shocker knows about One More Day, and he just gives him, like, a massive, like, pep talk and a wake-up call.
He's like, listen, Spider-Man, people think I'm a loser. Your soul belongs to Lucifer. Like, I just robbed banks. You've committed a treacherous sin.
Then he's like, fuck, you're right, Herman. And then there's like, that's the prelude.
After the next, like, Secret Wars or whatever, where they're all dead, Daredevil's watching Peter through the pearly gates, and he's just like, Pete, I've spoke to them. It turns out you actually made a deal with Satan. I'm sorry I've ever associated with you. That is violently against everything I believe in.
He's like, I'm lucky enough to be here. I've killed like twice. One was in war, the other time was an accident. I'm fucking lucky. Because I don't want to ruin my chances.
Is that why he always hangs out with Daredevil? Because he's hoping, like, he'll rub off on him and he'll get into heaven with him. Venom's like, you thought I was the monster, dude. I'm a holy man.
Can you believe that Venom was, like, technically right all those times to kill him?
Yeah. He's like, Spider-Man's the sinner. Mate. If Sin Eater found out.
Oh my god, we need, like, a resurgence. Because he can, like, now he doesn't take, like, literal sins, so it would work just as well.
Apparently, yeah. He, like, stole the Juggernaut's naughtiness or something. Stole Norman Osborn's. All these times now where Peter's like, yeah, that's right, I'm now friends with Norman Osborn. He's done a lot of bad things in his life, but he can turn it around. And then Norman's like, yeah, I can turn it around. You're fucked. Literally, dude, I was Carnage once, and you're where?
Norman's like, my sins are literally cleansed, mate. You still made that deal.
There's nothing he can do to bring that back. Marvel have so fucked the character over.
No, what would happen is, like, Peter would go to heaven for 2 seconds, and then, hang on, sorry, we thought you were Miles, and then just kick him back down.
He's like, as he's getting this guard out, he's like, he sees Uncle Ben's spirit. He's like, there's my uncle. Ben, tell them I'm good. And Ben's just like, shaking his head, no.
Was that birthday wish nothing to you, Peter? Even just like with the Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like, some people just full on hated the fact that there was two, like, Spider-Men there. I didn't give a fuck, but the fact that, like, he's so weak in comparison. It's like they nerfed Peter to the point where he can't even lift a fridge.
It's unhinged, isn't it, dude?
But it's like, why have both Peter and Miles if the story barely fits both of them? And then if you're gonna make
From what
one
I recall, anyway,
so weak,
the actual story itself felt like Miles was just there. I know he gets a lot of shit because, like, people don't like having a black Spider-Man or whatever. I'm not asked about all that, but this was a very Peter story. And what was Miles' character arc in this game that was meant to be, like, the next installment of this franchise?
Miles, like, literally,
he doesn't know what college to go to.
He relives the same shit in everything I've seen him in. Like, from the Spider-Verse movie to this one, it's always about, like, oh, who are you, Miles? And he has to go through this, like, self-discovery journey every single time.
And then at the end, he's always still like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man.
And I'm Miles.
By now, he should have probably, like, come up with his own identity at this point. If he's going through this who am I thing every time, isn't the ultimate, like, culmination of who are you meant to be I'm my own unique individual?
They won't
Isn't that
do
the
that,
point of those stories? But, I know, yeah, the too scared to now, even though they should have done it a while ago, I think.
But then it's funny because then
Whatever.
on every single piece of merchandise, it always say Miles Morales on it. That's like
Yeah, or like
they don't
Kid
want to change
Arachnid.
the name.
So
Yeah, but like, but then
they don't want to
they know
go all
exactly
in.
what to do on the marketing.
They've snookered themselves badly there, dude.
It's
But
funny when like the other shows do it in the most like shameless way possible.
like, was it Ultimate Spider-Man, the cartoon, where he first
He changed
doesn't he
his name in
join?
that and in the 2017 one.
What was he in the 2017 one?
I can't
Like
remember if it was
Web
like
Spinner or something.
I can't remember the name of it. Or like was it, I think maybe Kid Arachnid.
I remember Kid Arachnid from Ultimate. Wasn't it Spin or something at some point? Was that him? He was just called Spin,
You know.
as in Web Spin.
What I thought was funny though in Ultimate Spider-Man the show, where it was like they're telling Miles how he needs to change his name, and he's in this team of like Spider-Man himself, fucking Amadeus Cho, I think was probably there as
Oh.
the Iron Spider for whatever reason. Then you had Agent Venom Flash Thompson saying like you need a new name. What was going on in that show? It feels like a fever dream when you look at it from a distance, like as it got really. I refuse to believe it was real.
It went off the wall, didn't it? So I never watched it, if I'm honest, because I think I was too, like, it was right after Spectacular. I think I watched the first few episodes and I was like, this is never going to get the level of Spectacular. But isn't, like, Mary Jane Carnage and all that shit?
I think maybe once, because Peter was also Carnage as well
Ooh.
in the
Like
show,
in the
but
Ultimate Game, dude.
it wasn't like it wasn't like that though.
Ah.
And
In.
you know what it felt like though? It felt like they wanted to do Batman Brave and the Bold, but then just with shit
Yeah.
writing.
Absolutely. But, speaking of, while we're on Ultimate and that, this show is far more Ultimate than the other one. Than the one actually titled Ultimate.
Yeah. Like
It's got
even
the style.
the fact that him and MJ have a like
grittier.
romance.
Yeah. It's got the grittiness of Ultimate. Like, remember when we were reading Ultimate and, like, Dr. Octopus was, like, stabbing people with his tentacles and shit?
Oh, even
I
like I
could
like
see
the way
that
they
happening in this.
well, like the Shikata one was pretty brutal.
Yeah. Like, people were getting, like, their heads chopped off and shit, dude. Crazy. The lizard ate a dude and ripped his arm off.
The lizard was
Very
sick.
Ultimate.
It felt like
Very good
like
episode.
the movie just took so much inspiration from it.
Oh, yeah. What do you reckon of this Indy then, dude? Is she meant to be Gwen?
I don't know if they're like if they had Gwen in mind or just sort of had like we want someone to... the romance. I can't
That is
tell, like,
weird then, because
what their intention was.
yeah, like, obviously they want to drive a wedge between Peter and Mary Jane, but why not just use... They're so into the original characters, this show, mate. We've had a million original villains, and now we've got an original side character, even though, if this come out in, was it 2003? Actual Spidey comics had, like... well, as I say, Ultimate was coming out at this point, so surely Gwen, 3 years in, Gwen would have been in Ultimate. Who else would... I'm trying to think, like, 2000s Spider-Man side characters, but...
Wasn't like
drawing a blank.
would MJ be like maybe dead around this time? I can't remember.
And it was like Matty Franklin was trying to shag him.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Blooming heck.
of course, John Byrne's on the team for that one. Was it
But,
during that like plane time where they're like, "Oh, she's not dead," and then everyone's
think
like,
so.
"She's dead."
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was funny when he went to the bar and he was trying to put his ring on to say like his wife's dead, but then he puts it on the
does
wrong
he put on,
hand.
like, the one that symbolizes you might be down for the other team.
Yeah, and then the guy goes over to him. He's like, Peter's like, "Oh, that guy's like really nice to me," and then Randy's like, "Dude, your ring." And he's like, "Oh."
I'm
I
typing
still
in
think the definitive
2000. Go ahead.
adaptation's Dragonfly. It's he got the girl, mate.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was no
mate. He had
love
to fit a love
triangle.
interest, didn't he?
There's no love
Let's have a look.
triangle.
Spider-Man side characters comics have typed in, and now we're going to see who may have been around in the year 2000s. Ashley Kafka? No. Dexter.
If there
Oh,
was
okay.
one character you'd like this, like one side character you like in this show, who would you add?
Ooh. Jean DeWolf.
Oh yeah, God, that could have worked as well.
Mate, that could have been the love interest. She could have seen, like, instead of Peter going to Empire 1, he could have had questions from the police for, like, a crime that he took photos of. Could have met Jean. They could have got a bit friendly. Pterodax could have attacked the police station instead because the police are obviously trying to stop him. And that's the distraction for Spider-Man. And then obviously towards the end, you could have Sin Eater come in. I'm trying to think who could have been. Obviously, I'm not
we'll ever
bothered
get
they
a
made up their own
Sin
character.
story? Do you think we'll ever get Sin Eater adapted?
Yeah, in
We're close.
MCU Spider-Man 4, it's gonna have.
Oh, like, yeah, but he'll be a
What
Tony
about-
Stark villain.
It's all coming up with like Dan Slott ones. No one actually cool's coming up that they could have used. Liz Allen, maybe. But yeah, now we've got an original love interest as well. And I suppose I can see where they've got a mutual interest in both working for like the news. But other than that, she more or less she thinks he's a good luck charm because she nearly gets crushed by a random event. What did you reckon of that bit, dude? Like, if Spider-Man hadn't been there, she absolutely would have died. That wasn't like something Peter triggered. That would have
It's
just
funny
killed
how
her.
he's trying to like get her to move.
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't see the big thwipper web coming up his back.
It doesn't question it at all. But also, like, could you imagine if she just took too long and the guy like just passed out?
Choked.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, I think the whole romance with her was just so forced and just there to make drama, which I
Yeah,
hate.
it's absolutely to put someone between him and Mary Jane.
The thing is, it doesn't make sense because of how they handled their relationship beforehand. Like, why would why would Peter go off with her when like
Yeah,
he can
after like 5
tell that
minutes of
MJ
knowing it.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
He's literally had Mary Jane. Like I said before, it's weird how like he says he can't. He says at the end of the movie. I know I keep going on about the movie when it is meant to be after the movie. He says at the end of the movie, no matter what he does, those he loves are the ones who get hurt, like Uncle Ben or his best friend's dad. So he refuses to get with Mary Jane, not because it's Mary Jane, but because he thinks he can't be with anyone without putting them in danger. But now this new woman's come in, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, why not? When Mary Jane's been after him for months.
Another thing I hate as well is like that almost forced kiss cliche with the woman that throws like the wrench in the whole thing kisses the man without like, oh, she didn't expect it. But like, you know, they always look so shocked. But then like so like MJ won't notice how shocked Peter looked when she kissed him.
Yeah.
Even though his eyes were wide open like in seconds.
Yeah, it was just as much a surprise to Peter than it was to Mary Jane.
But they will never like MJ will never what's the word? Take that into account. Like when she was pissed off and Harry's like, MJ, shut up, look.
Yeah. She was ready to have a go then, weren't she? Like, she was like, when I see him again, I'm going to tell him everything. She's like, when she sees there's like a terrorist attack and Peter's there, she's like, right, if he survives this, I'm going to have to tell him everything and we're finally going to be together. But it just so happens that the new girl in his life gets there 2 seconds ahead.
Yeah. I even hated the way they framed, like, you're like, oh, did MJ call his name out? And then Indy rushes over.
Yeah. And the fire department are like, no, there's no one left in there, dude. Oh, I guess there was one guy left in there. Like, they say, no, we've cleared the building. And then Peter walks out and no one's like, bullshit. This guy must be Spider-Man. I just saw him swing back in there.
Even just, to me, it's funny the way they sort of had that spark when they initially met. That when they locked eyes. And then it's sort of just like, Peter. What the fuck? It's like, you're literally planning to go to see MJ. And then, of course, when the pterodactyl men, Ani-men, want to do their crime conveniently now, and conveniently, going past 8 o'clock, was it?
Yeah.
It's just like so many contrived things happen, and the problem is they do it so often in this show, to the point where it feels a bit like a joke. Like every episode has some random shit getting in their way.
Yeah. Like when he was going to make it to the play, but then the FBI kidnapped him.
Oh,
in the Kingpin episode,
what the fuck was that?
You're right, yeah. Like every time he's gotta be there for her, something gets in the way. But it's never like normally you'd see like a crime going on. Like in Spider-Man 2, he's on his way to the play, sees like a gunfight, and he's like, I better get involved in this, and that makes him late. But in this, it's like the villains are specifically targeting his love life.
Yeah. Like you just said, the grabbing him off the street. Then this one was holding the whole place hostage, and I'll have to go past 8 o'clock. It's like, even just the way I thought he was gonna say no when she asked if they wanted to see a movie. He sounded like he didn't want to.
Yeah, he was very like, and when he was explaining about the mixtape, it was more like he was like trying to let her down easy. Like he knew something dodgy was going on. When in his mind, it was just like, no, I'm just saying thanks. But then he's like, it's a girl, actually. She's like, oh.
He's Carly, mate. He's Carly from In Between.
She's like, she's Simon.
Yeah. This poor woman is being dragged around by Peter. He doesn't give a shit either. He really doesn't care.
This is like the coolest Peter then, and normally he's tripping over himself for the girl, but here this Peter's just not ass, mate.
Where do you rank this one overall?
I enjoyed it, I think. I don't remember what our current tier list was, but if I were to make one now, I think who have we had? We've had Black Cat, Rocket Racer, Lizard, Kingpin,
Cicada.
In fact, I've got the thing up here. I've got like the list, our special list. There it is. We have had Rocket Racer, Kingpin, Lizard, Cicada, and this one. Was that it? Oh no, and Black Cat, and this one. And I thought it was pretty good. I'd put it probably around the middle. Like, I like how the plot wasn't like build a super deadly laser and hold the city hostage. It was just, no, we'll get a bit of money. We've got flying suits.
The Lizard one is still the best for me. I feel like I said that before, hopefully, in my list. I think the Lizard episodes should be the best. I
think it went Lizard, like, Cicada. I think Heroes and Villains was bottom. Then probably Keeping Secrets, because it didn't really snap. It kind of just ended Keeping Secrets. Like, she just walked off. And then
What
you never
episode,
saw her
like,
again.
like Neil Patrick Harrison himself sounded like he phoned it in.
That was Royal Scam, which was a shame because obviously it had Michael Clark Kingpin.
I just love the fact that he played him in that.
Yeah, like he must have loved doing it in Daredevil because he was ready to come back. Like you wouldn't have nowadays. Like imagine if in PS4 it had Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. But now they've got to change it up, don't they, pal?
Poor old Spider-Man. Can't get no respect. What a root.
Fantastic episode, mate. Coming up next is an episode that I do remember being quite fun. It's Head Over Heels. Where if we thought Spidey had girl trouble now, pal. Oh boy. And then we're on Electro.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for Electro.
Oh, he's spooky as hell, dude.
The party, and then wasn't the sign in this episode like the one that he goes into?
Yeah, the maximum voltage. It is, yeah. It's foreshadowing, dude. Very nice.
Is that in the party or like the other episode?
That's in the party. But
that
the
one's gonna be
scary
so good. Holy
the
shit! Like,
scary
the
one is
Electro
when
one's a
sparks
dark
fly. Yeah, mate. Have you got any final words before I dismiss Craig back to the dungeon?
Watch this show over Friendly Neighborhood. Use your time
Watch
wisely.
this show and read Ultimate 2020, 2000, whatever it was. 2001? Is that what we've got coming up next? Oh no, dude, it's Super Month.
Superman?
Dude. So this is the first episode of July, but Superman's not out till the 11th, so this is a cheeky middle one. We're going to read a bit of Superman, aren't we, to prepare for the movie?
Most likely All-Star,
Nice.
Probably.
And then I will try to watch the movie for the following week. And then it'll be like a week late, but we'll get it out there.
If this movie is everything I want it to be, I'll probably have seen it about 7 times before we get to that.
Nice.
Just can't. I won't even leave the theater. It'd be like when SpongeBob and Patrick were trying to get through that one movie.
Just take a tent.
Yeah, just for camp there.
And we've got. Well, that's it. We probably won't do it for Fantastic Four because I'm definitely going to wait for that on for
like Disney Plus.
Disney, yeah, that's the one. We're going to wait until that's on Disney Plus because I don't really fancy like the new trailer looked alright, but I don't trust Marvel anymore with movies.
Only the last like 12 have been flops.
Should have stopped after Endgame, but you know.
Aren't you watching Ironheart? I saw like a clip where she was like belittling Tony Stark, saying that the only reason he did what he did was billionaire. And then all I thought in my head was Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
And he kind of died saving the fucking universe, you ungrateful bitch.
Literally, like,
is she a Marvel hero or is she a Marvel civilian? Because that is some bullshit she's saying there, dude.
That's gonna be like one of the worst insults is you're a Marvel civilian.
Apparently the Hood is the villain. And they keep threatening Mephisto. But I don't know if it actually is Sacha Baron Cohen.
I want your wife.
Yeah. Demon Borat is... if Demon Borat is in it, I will watch it.
I can't tell if it'd be like horribly bad or hilariously good if that is like the Mephisto.
Yeah. What
it's
have you
either
got coming up?
Like top tier or just horrible. No in between with Borat.
What have you got coming up for Month of Steel?
When this comes out, hopefully, Why I Love Superman, maybe For All Seasons. There might be a video on that. I've got some Superman shorts as well planned. I made a
nice.
couple today because I've been reading the Silver Age issues, and there was one where he was president. Like Jimmy was like dreaming, he knocked himself out by. And so I did like, what
Fucking hell,
if
Jimmy.
Superman was president? And then just sort of go over it like quickly. But yeah, so why I love Superman, and hopefully for all seasons.
Is one of the shorts about that time Jimmy wanted Superman to bang his mum.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Did you know Jimmy Olsen wanted? I was tempted to do like, did you know that like Superman and Big Barda were forced to?
Yes.
I was like, how can I word this to be, not as.
So YouTube doesn't demonetize.
Yeah, I can't like even that one page is insane where the guy's like, he brings Superman and he's like, oh, he'd break the woman or some shit like that. He's like, well, that's why I
Yeah.
got Big Barda.
Drawing attention to it, like,
What the fuck was Byrne doing?
what about how Jimmy pulls all the beds, dude? Like, now he's shagging Silver Banshee. In the issue where they go meet Dracula, he's got Dracula's like handmaiden all into him, dude. And yes, she only wanted his blood, but still.
Even the part I'm up to in Superman, he has a crush on Cat Grant, and for some reason, even for some fucking reason, in the last issue it felt like she was entertaining it.
No way, dude.
It's not even like legal to drink.
I used to think he was just like an annoying little kid sidekick. But since actually reading Superman, I'm like, holy shit, dude. Jimmy just might be the true hero of DC.
Even in All-Star, he's like, doesn't he actively try to save Superman because now he's just completely ascended through his normal role? He's like just a whole different sort of person.
Mate, he's a legend. Unhinged.
What do you got planned, mate?
I've got... So if this one comes out on the first week of July, there would have already been a Lex Luthor video. Good to go, mate. He's bald, and he's beautiful.
And he's Clancy Brown.
And he's obviously, if you're not reading him in Clancy Brown's voice, what are you playing at, dude? And then, what the hell was the other one? And then the second Superman one for the month was underrated Superman villains. But that is more like... One of them isn't really underrated anymore because he was in a movie, but okay.
I can't wait to just dive more into Superman.
Yeah, he's sick, dude. I've wasted so long not caring about him, and now I'm like, no, dude. Now the world needs him more than ever.
Yeah, I have a part of that in my Why I Love Superman video. I talk about how we need the movie.
Mate, we need to believe a man can fly again.
I love how the two like taglines of the 78 and this one sort of work together.
Is this one is look up?
Yeah, so you can go like look up. You'll believe a man can fly. You can put them together, mate. It's so cool.
But it's not just saying look up because Superman's flying. It's like chin up, like
it's
have
so
hope.
Fucking good.
It's crafty,
it's so
dude.
Simple as well. Just 2 words. Not even
like look up, look forward to the future.
Literally 6 letters long.
Gonna be a good one. And this was Panel Pals.
Arrivederci, everyone. Join us next
Superman.
Time. Or else.
Get ready for some Or else, jeez. Get ready for some Superman. Have you got any... How can we sign off in like a Superman-y way?
What about
Trunks on?
Perry
White.
Great Caesar's off. Great Caesar's
I never know. I never know what Perry White does because obviously we only know Jonah, but he's nothing like it. Does Perry actually like Superman?
Well, in the Silver Age, he did because he helped him out one.
Oh,
Perry
what a
White's
mate.
he dressed up as like a knight from like the
Ooh,
Merlin days, and
yeah,
he pretended that he could stab Superman with the sword, so he could bait out these like criminals. So
crafty
then,
mate.
yeah, so then like Perry White takes off the helmet. He's like, "Hey, thanks, Superman, for that. Glad I did a
No
good
way,
job."
dude. As I said to you the other day, it blows my mind when people are nice to these heroes. I may have read too much Marvel recently, but seeing dudes
Yes,
actually appreciate what they do. The
mate, the
Flash is a
fucking
whole
Sin Eater
museum
one.
dedicated to him.
The guy watches Peter run over to the old man on the floor. Like, hey, look, I think he saw that. I think he saw that guy's wallet.
Yeah. It's like, dude, he's just saved the day in front of you. That shocker issue, he saves the guards' lives from the shocker. And then the guards turn around and they go, yeah, but Spider-Man's the real menace, not the dude trying to shake our skulls to dust. And they open fire on Spidey 2 seconds after he just rescued them from a masked super fellas. Come on, dude. So,
Oh, that could be the outro. Don't be a
yeah,
Marvel civilian.
don't be a Marvel civilian and have hope. Look
Up.
up.